Are you looking to move to the Atlanta area and want to live in a centrally located area, lots of walkability, tons of modern home options, or cool loft options? Well, then you might want to consider the Old Fourth Ward, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get into talking all about living in the Old Fourth Ward right now. Hey guys, it's Molly Slaznick, and thank you for joining me back on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you would do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be one of the first to be notified when I publish a new video. But I am here to be your walking, talking tour guide of everything here in the Atlanta area. So if you have questions as you're watching my video, put your comments in the comments box below, or you can always shoot me a text, send me an email, or give me a call. I would love to hear from you, see how I can help you out and find a place that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Whether you're moving from out of state or you are just moving from the burbs into the Atlanta area. I know it can be kind of hard to figure out which little neighborhood to live in within the city of Atlanta. There's a lot of great choices. So I am here to help you and hopefully make that a little bit easier on you. So without further ado, let's talk about the Old Fourth Ward. So I'm standing actually in the Old Fourth Ward Park. Right here is a splash pad. It is closed for the season, but I take my kids here all the time in the summer to cool down. And then on the other side, back that way, is an actual playground. And then if you go a few blocks further down, you get to Ponce City Market, which I'll give you a better tour of that here in a little bit later on. And then just to the right of me is the Beltline. So that in a nutshell is kind of where I'm at, but let's look at Old Fourth Ward on a map so you can see just exactly where we are. So you'll see that the Old Fourth Ward is just, east of, I had to get my directions here, east of Midtown and downtown. And then you have Piedmont Park kind of on the lower eastern side, and then there's Ponce Highland, and then kind of catty corner from that is Virginia Highland, and then you've got Piedmont Park just north of that. So that's where we are at on the map, and we're really close to 75, 85. And in fact, if you want to get down to the airport, you're looking at about a 15-minute commute. Midtown, downtown, 5 minutes. If you are wanting to get over to Buckhead, that's going to be a little bit longer, 20 minutes, but still not bad. And if you work over at the Emory, the Children's Hospital, the CDC, you're looking about 12 to 15 minutes commute to get over there, which is still not a bad commute at all. You'll see that the Old Fourth Ward is very centrally located here in the Atlanta area. If you watched my other videos like Virginia Highland or Inman Park, well, Old Fourth Ward is just as walkable as those neighborhoods, mainly because of Ponce City Market and the Beltline. So as far as what there is around here, well, I already kind of rattled off a few of the big attractions, which is Ponce City Market, the Beltline. But Old Fourth Ward does have a couple of different parks, like this one, the Old Fourth Ward Park. There's also an Old Fourth Ward skate park just off of the Beltline. And there's also a central park a little bit closer to the downtown area. As far as festivals in the Old Fourth Ward, they host a ton of them. There's a lot of beer and wine festivals. There's like a cheese and wine festival, a fall arts festival. They do a Shaky Knees festival that happened just a couple weeks ago here in October over at Central Park. It's just a big 2-day music festival event. Am I missing anything? I think that is Taste of Atlanta. That's another one. I knew there was one more I wanted to let you know about, but lots of festivals happening here throughout the year. And as I mentioned, the Beltline runs right through the Old Fourth Ward area, so you can connect over to, Piedmont Park. You could take your dog to the dog park over at Piedmont Park. There's actually another dog park called Freedom Parkway that's just off of Freedom Parkway. You could take your dog there for a little run, and you can just get over to Inman Park really quickly, go grab a bite to eat at the Croc Street Market. So lots of connections there on the Beltline. As far as the type of homes that are around here, well, there are a lot of like the older 1920 bungalows, but a lot of them have been dilapidated, and investors have been coming in either renovating them or tearing them down completely if they're in big disrepair, and then building these huge modern, not huge, but modern homes that, you know, they can get a little bit pricey, up to like 1.2, which is actually a lot cheaper than if you were considering like Buckhead or something like that. But so we have moderns, a lot of the bungalows, and there are tons and tons of like condo and loft style options. I mean, there's a ton of loft complexes. I can't even name them all off, but a couple that come to mind are like the Block Lofts, the New Grape Lofts, Glen Iris Lofts, Troy Peerless Lofts, Studioplex. So tons and tons of loft options if you're into the lofty features. And there's also a lot of townhomes too, and tons that are still getting built around here. And a lot of those townhome styles, they're either like traditional, transitional, or modern with like a rooftop deck. Everyone loves a good rooftop deck around here. So those are kind of the options that you're going to find in this area. But as far as sales prices, so the last 6 months, the median sales price for a single family home has been $712,000. For a townhome, that was $685,000, and then for a condo, $355,000. So that kind of gives you an idea of price range. In terms of schools, so the Old Fourth Ward is zoned to Hope Hill Elementary, Howard Middle School, and Midtown High School. Now the Hope Hill Elementary School is not quite the most highly ranked school. I do think it's turning around and it's turning a corner. I think, you know, as people are coming in and developing this area, and there's a lot of young families that live here, and so I think the school eventually is going to even just become better. The middle school and the high school are also really well ranked. So just so you have some context of what the Old Fourth was versus what it is today. So when I moved here 10 years ago, so that was like roughly 2011, the Old Fourth Ward was not an area that I wanted to drive through or hang out at. I just simply would breeze through it to get over to Midtown. Didn't want to stop here. It was a very transitional neighborhood, and you know, it was known for a high drug and crime activity area, and it has cleaned up a ton thanks to the Beltline development and the Ponce City Market development. You know, back in 2011, 2012, you could snag an old home, an old bungalow very cheaply, but that has changed a lot. The developers have definitely built up this area a lot, and I mean, in fact, I don't know if you can hear, but there is a big construction project happening right there. And you can see cranes right behind me there. So they are building up this area wherever they can find some dirt. But yeah, I mean, there's still some parts of Old Fourth Ward that you'll see that have not transitioned quite as quickly. Boulevard is just one of those roads where there is a lot of like lower income housing. And so you're gonna get a lot of transient neighbors along the Boulevard Avenue Road. And so if you go from Boulevard into like towards downtown, that area just has not transitioned as much or as quickly. It's starting to catch up, but very, very slowly. There's more developers building townhomes over there. In fact, you can snag a townhome over there for a lot cheaper of a price point than you could, say, if you crossed over Boulevard, in between Boulevard and the Beltline. Then the prices are going to go up higher. One, because you are closer to Ponce City Market and the Beltline, basically. So lots of transition happening now. The Old Fourth Ward is a vibrant, hip, cool place. We've got young millennials, we have young professionals, we have people with kids. So it's a good mix of people that live here, and definitely an area that I'm very comfortable walking in. Okay, so now that I've given you a little bit of an overview, I'm going to walk through this park and then over to Ponce City Market and just show you what that building is all about. So to give you an idea, I'll just start talking while I'm walking here. Ponce City Market was kind of an eyesore. It was actually a Sears building, like a store, and their main offices for kind of like the Southeast. And then it was the City Hall building for a while, and then it kind of shut down in 2010, and it was kind of an eyesore, to be honest with you. And then a developer came in and poured in like $180 million into this development, and Ponce City Market is now like this super cool, hip food hall. It has some cool boutique stores, and there's some staple stores like West Elm, Williams Sonoma, Anthropology. So there's a couple of staple recognizable stores too. And it also has some lofts that you can rent, and there's a lot of office spaces. So kind of cool if you could work at Ponce City Market and you live off of the Beltline, because the Beltline connects right up to Ponce City Market. So you could literally just ride or walk to work every day, which would be pretty awesome. But here is this park. Here's a little bit of a shot of some of this playground equipment. My kids love playing on it. And yeah, so let me walk down to Ponce City Market right now. So as I walk down to Ponce City Market, I did want to point out right over here, this is a new construction going up off of the Beltline. This is a new facility for MailChimp, which is an internet tech company. And yeah, they actually used to have offices in Ponce City Market, but now they are building their own building. So pretty cool location. Okay, before I go any further, I just want to take a quick second and just show you, I'm here in the park. There's Ponce City Market, I'm almost there. But surrounding this Old Fourth Ward Park is tons of apartment buildings. So there's opportunities for people that can't buy, that they can rent and still enjoy all the amenities of Old Fourth Ward. So that's the MailChimp building behind me. You've got more apartment buildings here. And then Ponce City Market. Are you getting dizzy yet? Anyway, I'll keep going. All right, so I'm outside Ponce City Market, and I'll show you around the inside a little bit, but they have some great places to eat outside on the patio. And then right up there on the roof, believe it or not, you can go up there, and then there's kind of like an arcade area and a bar and a little restaurant. So cool place for a date night. And it's very festive here in the Christmas time. And anyway, let me just go show you around. So I just left Ponce City Market. I'm right outside, and I'm going to walk over to the Beltline and just show you how close it really is. All right, and here we are. So that is the entrance into Ponce City Market, and then I'm about to hit the Beltline. You're gonna find tons of people riding their bikes, jogging, walking, and then we've got apartment buildings here that are in like a loft style form. And then right over here, this big building is office space, but there's also a Kroger there. Literally, you can walk on the Beltline into the Kroger, which is pretty cool. And they have like an outside Starbucks service area too, which is pretty awesome. Now that we've seen Ponce City Market and the Beltline, let's go check out a few home examples so you can see what you get in the area. Okay, first off, I'm going to show you some of the more pricier options. These are modern. I thought you might like a modern to start off our home tour, but I'm walking up to the homes. Now, these are new builds. They are still for sale. There's 4 of the units, and it's kind of like a duplex option. So there's a house in the front and a house in the back, but they share a main wall. There's no HOA. You're going to share a driveway. You'll have a garage. And these are going to range between $1,049,000 down to $900,000. So here they are. Check them out. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, just over 2,700 square feet. And it has a very open living to a kitchen area, good sized bedroom, nice bathroom. And then what's unique about this one, it has a little bit of a green space, which is hard to come by. And then it has a rooftop deck, which that is a very, very popular thing now here in the Atlanta area, is having some kind of a rooftop, especially if you're buying a townhome. So this kind of meets all of those boxes. And that's one thing I should mention about the yards and the lot sizes here. They're small, and so you're really, if you're looking at a single family home, you're probably not going to get a very big yard. But yeah, here's another view of the driveway. I should also add, this street is pretty nice. You got some bungalows this way, some craftsman homes over here. And then right down here is Boulevard, and they're doing some kind of construction project here. I'm actually not for sure what it is, but like I said, this area is still transitioning. It can change from block to block, but if you keep going down back the way I'm walking, you're going to run into Ponce City Market within a couple of blocks. So it's all about location, and this is a very, very walkable location. Remember how I told you at the intro of my video that Old Fourth Ward had a lot of dilapidated bungalows? This is an example, but it looks like they're going to be restoring this one, which I don't blame them. It's got a very, very cute front face, so I will be excited to see how they change this one. But there have been a lot of these that were probably in worse condition, and then they just ended up tearing them down, replacing them with more modern builds. Okay, so I'm walking down a street that's actually not too far from the Old Fourth Ward Park, and I just want to give you an example of what a typical street may feel like in the Old Fourth Ward. So you can see right here, this house is a little bit on the older side, even its neighbor, a little bit older bungalow, but let me keep going down. Pretty quiet street though, actually. But then right next to this older one, we have like this very uber modern, and that's just the nature of the Old Fourth Ward, is you're gonna get kind of a mixed bag of what you're gonna find. So check this one out. And then like right across the street, you have this gorgeous, cute, obviously renovated bungalow. So you really just get a mix of bungalow with the newer modern style. Now let's see an example of a single family home. This is a bungalow style, and it was built in the 1920s, but here it is right here, super cute. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It was on the market for 6 days. And let me put up some pictures here, but you'll see it has a large living room area with a very functional kitchen, a good sized primary suite, but you'll see it has no backyard at all. And I don't know if I mentioned this, 2,300 square feet, sold for $676,000. I can't talk today. Anyway, it's kind of a mixed bag on this street. Right up here is Boulevard. There's some apartment buildings right here, and then next door here, you kind of got this really old home. So that is something that you will encounter here in the Old Fourth Ward area on certain streets, that it's still transitional, a little mixed. But yeah, so that's what you can get in the 600K range. Okay, so I wanted to give you an example of a condo. So I'm actually outside the Glen Iris Lofts. These are just off of Glen Iris, directly across from Ponce City Market, the Dancing Goats, City Winery. So awesome location. It is a gated community. It does have a pool. The HOA for this particular unit is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's about $478 a month. So that gives you an idea of what you would be paying in an HOA fee. Obviously, it depends on how big the unit is, but I'm going to put up some pictures of an example of one that's currently under contract. It was under contract in 2 days, but this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit, just over 1,200 square feet. It was listed for $475,000. And you can see this one has actually been updated. It has a really nice open layout, an updated kitchen, and the bedroom is a nice size. The bathroom's been renovated. So super great loft option right here. All right, now that I've given you some examples of what the homes are like, now it's time for me to just drive around some streets so you can kind of just see what the streets are like, what the neighborhood's like, get a feel for the area. I was about to leave the Glen Iris Lofts, and when I was about to leave, I just thought of something I should point out. So there is a daycare right at Ponce City Market called the Suzuki School. I'm pointing to it right now, but it's a great option if you're looking for a daycare in the area for, you know, whether you live in Virginia Highland, Old Fourth Ward, or any of the other surrounding areas. Great daycare. Show you just a quick example of some townhomes. This is a complex called Square at the Glen Iris. It's literally 2 or 3 blocks from Old Fourth Ward Park and Ponce City Market. I remember when these were getting built, and right now they are selling for around $875,000 to $900,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath. They're pretty narrow, but I would say they're like a transitional style inside, but awesome location. Okay, now I'm on like the southern side of the Old Fourth Ward area. The Old Fourth Ward covers a huge span of space, but I am like on the south side of Highland Avenue, and I wanted to show you kind of a typical street in this particular part of Old Fourth Ward, because you'll see the streets are very narrow. In fact, you can only park on one side, but I'm going to throw in a bonus house to show you because I think it's so cute. But look at this. So this is what I would call a shotgun house. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath home. The bedroom is on the second floor, but I'll put up some pictures here for you. So this is listed for $430,000. It's just 711 square feet, but it's kind of like a tiny home. We're a glorified apartment, and it's got a cute little living room, kitchen, bedroom area, and a little tiny backyard, but not much. But yeah, so these little shotgun houses are really prevalent, especially in Cabbagetown, which is kind of next door. But yeah, just had to show you this one. Okay, so I am on Highland Avenue, and I'm right kind of on the borderline of Old Fourth Ward and Inman Park, but right behind me here is Highland Bakery, and you have to try it out sometime. I love their brunch menu, and their bakery goods are so good. So yes, it's a must stop. The lines are long on the weekend, so just be prepared to stand in line. But then when you come to the corner of Highland Avenue and Sampson Street, just catty corner from me, there's a few other little restaurants. This used to be a taco place, and now it's kind of more like a burger joint, cocktails, called Field Day. And then right down there we have a sushi place, and this is an apartment complex, but we're really close to the Beltline, literally like 2 blocks down. And then I'm gonna start heading this way, and we'll run into the Beltline, just another section of it. There's a Lady Grove Mess Hall, I think is what it's called, and it has great drinks and just a good outdoor patio. Okay, I'm walking to the Beltline, but I had to stop and show you this one. Doesn't this remind you of something you'd see like in Charleston or off the coast of the Florida beaches or something? Super cute, but I'll keep going. Okay, so here I am at the Beltline and Lady Bird. I got hung up earlier because I just called it Lady Bird, but I wanted to give you the proper name, and it is Lady Bird Grove Mess Hall, but everyone just calls it Lady Bird. But it's got a great selection on the menu for food, and a great popular hangout area, especially on the weekends when it's nice. It's about middle afternoon on a Monday, so not a lot of people here on the patio right now, but this place will be packed on the weekend. So, and yeah, here we are. We are right here on the Beltline, and right across the Beltline is Kevin Rathbun's Steakhouse. If you haven't eaten there, you gotta. It's delicious. Okay, just to give you another example of another street here in the Old Fourth Ward. So this street is pretty close to the Beltline, just a few blocks away, and kind of on the southern section of the Old Fourth Ward. But again, you get like a nice modern here, and then right next to it you have this bungalow. And notice how close together all these homes are. So a lot of these homes in some of these southern streets are going to be very condensed together. It's just, space is at a premium, and they fill these lots up. So you're not going to get a bunch of yard, mainly just a house. But a couple another cute bungalows there, or craftsman rather. And then we've got another modern home up here. And then when I round the corner, I'm going to show you a couple of unique modern properties. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, right here, another modern. Okay, so here's the collection of modern homes I was telling you about right here. There's 1, 2, 3 right there, all in a row, very tightly together. They almost look like townhomes, but they are single family homes. And I would say these are probably around 1.1. In fact, I think this one, the white one, sold for like 1.1, 1.2, somewhere around there. But yeah. And then what's funny is that, you got these modern ones that are very, very close together, kind of very narrow, next to, let me speed up my walking here. Hold on, I'm power walking. But you get these huge craftsmen. Now they're going to take up the whole lot, but there's one and there's one. But these are huge craftsman style homes. again, they are going to be close to the neighbors, but a lot bigger of a home. So if you have a dog and you want them to get some exercise, you can bring them down over to what they call Freedom Parkway. It's right off of Freedom Parkway. You can see all the cars up there. But this is just a nice little space for your dogs to run around. And actually not too far away is another dog park. It's called Fetch, and it's a little bit more commercialized. It has, it's open aired and your dogs can be off leash, but there is like a bar so you can drink cocktails and beer while your dogs run around. It's a good social place for pet owners. So that one is just off of the DeKalb Avenue area. I guess it turns into Decatur Road, but that's another one to look up, Fetch. So I just wanted to show you the new Howard Middle School. It just opened up in 2020, although the students didn't get to go there right away because of COVID. But then when they finally got to go there, I think for a couple months before the end of the school year, they really got to enjoy this new facility. So before this building got redone, it used to be an abandoned civic center and not really pretty, but let me see if I can get a good view of, you'll see there's a downtown right there, and then just a block this way is the Beltline and Piedmont Park and City Market. So it's pretty cool for kids going to middle school. They could ride their bike on the Beltline and get to school that way, but a great middle school, and it feeds a lot of the communities, like the students that live in Candler Park, Inman Park, Virginia Highland, Morningside, Old Fourth Ward. I'm missing a few, but that's kind of a few examples of what students actually feed into the Howard Middle School. I'm walking down Auburn Street, which it kind of feels like you're stepping back in time because it has a lot of these older homes. They're actually private residences, so let me show you a couple. But I'm coming up on MLK's childhood home, so I want to show you that. I have to because we're here in Atlanta, and I could not do a video without showing you this National Historic Site. But I mean, look right here. You got this row of older home style, and they just have really gone untouched. All right, you guys, here it is. Here is Martin Luther King's birth home and where he grew up, right off of Auburn Avenue and Boulevard. So definitely check it out when you are here. You'll see downtown is right there. And yeah, this place will get a lot of visitors, you know, snapping pictures. So especially on the weekends and MLK holiday, there's definitely gonna be people around here. So it's definitely worth a stop. I had to point out these condos. They remind me of like Miami Vice or something. But really, across the corner though is this cute little neighborhood gym called Lotta Frutta. You have to check it out sometime. I'm about to go get myself a little fruit snack, but they also have great panini, so definitely check it out. How cute is this little fruit snack, right? Well, before I devour this, I just want to sign off. So thank you for joining me on this Old Fourth Ward vlog tour today. Hey, if Old Fourth Ward wasn't your jam, stay tuned because I will be posting more videos of different neighborhoods. So hopefully one will fit your lifestyle and your budget. But remember, if you have questions, if you're thinking about moving tomorrow or next year, feel free to put your comments or questions in the comment section below, or give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text, whatever you want. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.